What's the protocol for reuniting with your long-lost sister after 8 years?
Being here is too good to be true. I'm not gonna let anything mess it up.
Owen Shannon here with a video essay on why I hate the first Life is Strange, but how Life is Strange True Colors was able to win me over. Remember this show? This Is Us was pretty popular for a while, and everyone always talked about how good it was because it makes people cry. I don't like This Is Us. I also don't like the first Life is Strange, and it's for many of the same reasons. I can't make a full value judgment on the writing and characters of This Is Us because I really haven't spent much time with it. But I do know that it's a show dependent on moments.
Welcome to Ms. Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 This Is Us moments that made us ugly cry.
In one episode, you'll get the death of grandma, the birth of a baby girl, a character learning they're deserving of love, and a teen coming out to their parents. I don't know if this is actually an episode of the show that exists, but my point is that it's a show whose primary purpose is to find these moments in life and emotionally manipulate the viewer. As long as they've at least partly gotten you attached to the characters, they'll likely get some sort of emotional reaction out of you by putting them through the ringer of the most emotional moments life can produce. This ain't for me. A primetime drama is obviously going to have inflated stakes, but I find much more enjoyment in nuance as opposed to these moments. No one says that they really love a person or a character because they were with them when their grandma died. These moments we share with others have the ability to be endearing, but they're fleeting. The emotion swells higher than normal for a period of time, but when the tension releases, we are left with reality. And when there is a drastic disparity between the high and low moments, that's when the flaws are truly revealed. The first Life is Strange is a game that makes you talk to a girl who's standing on the ledge of a building while you try and convince her not to take her own life. For no reason other than research for this video, I know that this girl's name is Kate. I suppose I do feel sympathy for Kate. I mean, I'd be a monster to not feel sympathy for her. She's a victim because not safe for work content has been leaked of her. It's driven her to this dark place, clearly. Kate is just this disheveled girl you meet about an hour before. And if you did enough research, you can find a dialogue choice that shows her that you care. You want her to live. This moment really isn't helped by the fact that the performances and animation of the first Life is Strange are very stiff. I'm not the biggest graphics guy, but the animation actively kind of undermines the emotion that they're going for in this scene. But this moment is nothing but manipulation. If the hallmark of a video game is immersion, I should not feel that a local news story could have been just as effective at conveying the emotion here. I could hear about this story on Twitter and think, damn, that's pretty sad. And this moment is not at all enhanced because you get an opportunity to see a photo of her family and say, wow, they look so happy in this photo. Life is Strange repeatedly goes back to this well of big emotional moments. Sudden death, tragic accident, and shocking reveals for the sake of a shocking reveal. And when the tension of these moments releases, you're left with teenagers that feel like they were written by undercover cops.
Amazeballs. I've literally just got chills all over my neck.
I never considered playing any of the other Life is Strange games, because why would I? I know I don't like it, so there's just no purpose in putting myself through that and putting other people through my opinions on all of the other games. But I got a genuine recommendation on True Colors that it may win me over, so I let curiosity get the best of me. There's a quote from writer Raymond Chandler where he says, "My theory was that readers just thought they cared nothing but the action. That really, although they didn't know it, they cared very little about the action. The things they really cared about and that I cared about were the creation of emotion through dialogue and description." True Colors opens on a solo shot of protagonist Alex Chen. We learn in this scene that she's getting out of the foster system, and she's doing what seems to be an exit interview, but none of that really matters. The camera stays locked on Alex as she answers these questions, and she has to navigate the backhanded digs that this woman is lofting at her. The conversation feels real, and developer Duck9 is sending a message that this game is a step forward. You can see the emotion on Alex's face through it all, and it's believable. This opening scene is what I needed to see. For one, the advancement of technology showcases stronger performance capture, which undeniably helps the effectiveness of True Colors over its predecessors. But it also shows an understanding of what Chandler said. While this moment provides exposition about Chen's background, the facial expressions and her demeanor going back and forth with the woman on the other side of her is the real story in this moment. True Colors is not a story without stakes or sudden dramatic moments. It is a story that understands that the tamer moments are the best ones. The relationships formed in this game feel more real than those of the first game. The empathy power possessed by Alex is one of the major reasons for this. While Alex has this ability that makes her an empath on steroids, the power is more relatable and grounded, and the usage of it is meant to add emotion to any situation it's used in. It's equally effective whether it's showing the stress someone is going through while trying to guess the correct number of gumballs, or if you're discovering the overwhelming feeling of guilt and anger that a mother is facing towards her child. Looking back at the first game, the time travel power was one of the redeeming qualities of the game. However, when you have a power that big, you need stakes to match it. So it's this kind of double-edged sword when you think of it in that respect. In reality, this emphasis on strongly emotional, high-stakes moments is only one side of the problem. And while I'm harping on this quite a bit, it really is only one side of the problem. The other side comes with the discrepancy between the high and low. It's not that developer Don't Nod of the first two games did not understand the need for tamer moments, it's that they were bad at them. Max and Chloe have the cringiest dynamic I've ever seen, and the dialogue between them as high schoolers.
Hella yes! Uber cool.
During a time where I was in high school, we weren't talking like this. True Colors is much more realistic in its dialogue and more confident in its ability to develop meaningful conversations and relationships. And the confidence is on display with a more sparing use of huge plot moments. Ultimately, I didn't even care for the plot beats that much. I primarily wanted to talk to the people of Haven Springs, or just watch Alex, Steph, and Ryan go around being the hottest trio possible. That's another plus of this game. I mean, these are three objectively very hot people. Beyond my attraction to the main three, though, True Colors was able to win me over by putting the emphasis on their writing, their relationships, and really delivering on these promises that this was a step up from the first Life is Strange. And for that reason, I think I'm on board for any time Deck 9 decides to revisit this series in the future. True Colors was able to win me over not by changing the Life is Strange formula, but by working within it much more confidently.